Hello, guys, and welcome back to Native Country Madridista. This is the channel where I speak about European football and everything Real Madrid. We've beat Manchester City. It's been a hard, tough 2 matches tie, but we did it. And now that we've passed the last 16, we are left with the best 8 teams in Europe. So this is very exciting time. It's a very exciting time for many fans, the fans of Bayern Munich, of Arsenal, of Barcelona, of many teams. But yeah, we're really, really excited because we knew that we were facing a very tough opposition. I know that it's not the best time for Manchester City. Obviously, they're not doing very well right now in the league because they managed to close the gap a little bit from Arsenal, and then now they slandered a little bit with not being able to score, and there has been problems, I understand, with Holland as well, which scored, by the way, on Tuesday. And ever since last season, Manchester City hasn't been exactly at the top of the form. But still, meeting them, it's very exciting. It's top-class opponent. And to beat them, especially when we can win away and then to win at home, very special, 5-1 in aggregate. Very interestingly, the goal scored by Vinicius was the 100th goal that Real Madrid scores in European Cup against English oppositions. That's an incredible feat. Another very interesting stat is that now, from the last 15 times we met on knockout stages an English team, we have won 11 of those ties. 11 knockout ties out of 15. This is incredible. Now, arguably, we are going to meet a better opponent. I mean, think of Bayern Munich for a second, all right? How much did they beat Atalanta? Is it 10-3 or something? 10-2? Something crazy like that. They have such an attacking lineup. They are so strong. So we can really look up to this and face up to this, and this is going to be a very hard match. But I'm going to get up to the quarterfinal ties a little bit later. First of all, I want to talk about the game on Tuesday. We played very cohesive football under Arbeloa, and this is something that is very important. We see that the team is fighting together. We don't just see the defense trying to defend. We see, as I said in the last video, we see at each time that somebody is facing another player, there is another player to back them up and to do a double defense, and sometimes a lot of players are just in the same place, and we've seen this being played in the 2 ties against Manchester City. I think that we've been really, really critical of Arbeloa. Now he's starting to cash up the bills, let's call it this way. He's managing to really bring a lot of the players to be at their best situation. So we see that there is a lot of team spirit, which is what he's driving for, what he wants to get from the players. And we see that a lot of the elements that in the beginning didn't really work for him starting to work right now. I like the way that players change their positions. When we look at Pitarch, for example, and I'm going to speak a little bit more about him coming on, we see that he is a free player. He can play in all different positions. He can play on the right flank. He assisted Trent and Valverde on the right flank. And then he was really, really dynamic and moving to many different places. We saw him on the left a number of times, especially when there was no other player. Now, what I like really is to see Arda Güler playing on the left. First time that we've seen him playing on the left flank. We saw him a lot moving back to deeper positions, to being sort of like attacking number 6 or defensive number 8. And we've seen him play a lot on the right, especially under Ancelotti. But now we see him play on the left. And what it does, it lets him play in a different movement with the ball, because he's not the outer player getting in, playing with his stronger foot inwards. He's playing with his stronger foot, and then his movement is different. It gives some kind of different dynamic. And it's very, very important that we can have sometimes on the left flank, we can have a player that thinks in a different way, and also a lefty. Now, when we speak about this game, we have to speak about its MVP. First of all, a penalty miss, but The penalty miss that was in the last week made him brave, and he wasn't afraid because people were asking, all right, is he going to score or not? Now, when we got Mbappe on the field, obviously he's the first penalty kicker, but he wasn't afraid. Vinicius wasn't afraid, wasn't shy of the occasion. This is very important, and he took a brace. And then later, after scoring the penalty, he had two clear-cut shots in the span of less than 5 minutes. And this is the only player in the world that you can forgive for such misses, because any other player would be getting so criticized. But we forgive him because he did score a brace, and then he scored another goal before the final one that was taken away from him. And then all the crowd started like shouting again, booing him and everything. He ended up scoring a goal anyway, which was so classic Vini. Here we see him with the best player. He was also saying we knew that what we had to do, work hard and take advantage of our opportunities. Said the scorer of both goals at the Etihad Stadium. He's now one goal shy away from Puskás at the European Cup, and he's sixth all-time. All the players that had ever played for Real Madrid in the Champions League. So this is another incredible feat by an incredible player. And yeah, what can we say? I mean, he did it. He did it again, and it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy to do this shift for him, to just go from 2 months ago being very criticized about the way that he played, not being able to focus on football and everything else that was said about him. And now all he needed was a manager that gave him confidence, that stood beside him, that told him, you are a star. I want you to play every single minute that you can, and I'm only going to rest you in the league because I need you back in the Champions League to do what you do best, which is win games for us. And that's what he did again. So, by the way, talking about incredible players, let's give a minute to Rüdiger. Rüdiger was really above the level of everybody else in those two ties. He really came with a lot of leadership. He helped the team a lot to face Haaland, to face the opposition of Manchester City. He was helping everybody to be more cohesive, and he really had a lot of great chances. You remember that the last time he had this chance taken away from Haaland that could have changed this tie, because he slid down and jumped the ball up just a second before Haaland was coming up to score this goal that was coming from the right, from Semenyo, I think. So not only that, but he really managed to be a leader. This was his 550th professional match in all competitions. Very, very experienced. We're so fortunate to have him. He's about to celebrate 33, or just celebrated 33. Regardless, we have to sign him for 2 more years. When he's fit, he's one of the best defenders, and he brings so much. We have a lot of young players, and we have to have this sort of experience. And this is a player that knows already how to win a Champions League. Now, I want to talk also about his partner, Hausen. And Hausen had a very cohesive game. He did face Holland when he scored a goal towards the end of the first half. And we must say he wasn't in position at that moment. He was supposed to be closer to Holland and being able to react. But he did so many good things. He had at least 5 different interceptions during this match. He won duels and aerial duels, and he had a very good, solid game. What he needs just a little bit of more time. You know, he needs to be there more in the first lineup, and he needs to get out of everything that was bad in this season. And we have to remember that most of the bad things that happened to him, beside being injured, happened to him, first of all, in the first season that he's in Real Madrid. And secondly, it happened to him under Xavi Alonso, which really, I mean, he had some good moments under Xavi Alonso, but mostly he had a lot of problems like many, many other players have. And now he has this motivation in Arbeloa that really gives him and takes more out of him. And from a lot of the players, I mean, Tchouaméni has been world-class in the tie, in both games. By the way, talking before about Tchouaméni, he almost scored a goal somewhere in the 77th minute or so. He had a great header from a corner. I mean, it was supposed to be a goal. It was just a great save by the goalkeeper. And yeah, let's talk about this guy starting out at 18, coming from the academy. I said the last time that we need to see more of him. So I watched him closely in this match. He was very, very dynamic. As I was saying before, he helped a lot on the right flank. He was able to go to other places when he saw, for example, Valverde going more to the back or higher. Then he was filling up for him when he saw that Arda Güler was moving from the left to deeper positions. He went to the left. He was very dynamic, very moving, very flowing. So Pitarch, he played 75 minutes. He had 52 touches, which just shows how free he was with the ball and how much of confidence he has to do things and to take charge. 88 pass accuracy is decent. It's not the best, but it's decent. And he had 6 ball recoveries. This is incredible. We are talking about an 18-year-old just starting out, second, third, maybe fourth game playing, and he's still managing to face the midfield of one of the best teams in Europe, of the second best team right now in England. He won 2 tackles. He had 1 interception. He won 5 of 9 duels. Aerial duels, he won 2. Dribbles, he had 2 good dribbles, which I'm not sure that's so accurate. It depends what you call a dribble, of course, right? He won 2 fouls and he ran almost 11 kilometers. Ran and walked, and the distance that he covered. He had a very dynamic game. I was really happy with him. And right now, if you ask me, who am I going to put inside the 11? I think that it's best for Real Madrid right now to play with him. You need to develop him. You need to give him minutes. You need to have more home characteristics and Spanish characteristics. And I would put him over Camavinga even. So we have to think about what we're going to do next with our midfielders, because we also need to think about Como, one of the best teams right now in the Serie A. In fact, I'm going to check. So looking at it, Como are just 5 points away from Napoli in 4th place on the way to the Champions League. You know who is the field player that plays most for Como this season? It's Nico Paz, 21-year-old, our player. He plays sometimes as a forward. I didn't know that. He has 9 goals. He has 6 assists. That's incredible. We need to bring him back. And we need to question ourselves, what are we going to do with either Camavinga, that there are some rumors that are saying that Camavinga might be purchased by the Premier League and that Real Madrid will be willing to listen. Real Madrid is always willing to listen. It depends on how much the player wants to stay at Real Madrid and how much money are they going to offer. So we've already sold Varane, we've sold Casemiro, we've sold different players, and some of the players we've let them go when they finish the contract for different reasons, mainly age. And some players has also decided that they want to leave the club because they don't feel that they can contribute what they could before, like Nacho, that got another contract offer and said, no, I'm going to move away and I'm going to play, I believe he plays in Saudi Arabia now. So when you have these kind of options and you have a player in Nico Paz that can come, and you can have a very, very Spanish, homegrown, canteranos midfield, it's very, very tempting. And you think to yourself, all right, who is better right now for the midfield? Now, Camavinga is very, very dynamic and he moves great with the ball. But what Pitarch is bringing is more calmness, more dynamism as far as being able to control the ball, more control of pace, more passes, and different elements that we had when we had the best trio center midfielders in the world, right? So he reminds me a lot in some ways of Luka Modric, of course, very, very different player, and we need to see where he will get to. This is only the start here, but I'm very optimistic about his abilities. If I'm the Spain manager for the World Cup, I would have a hard time not inviting this great rising talent. I mean, he can compete with anybody right now on the midfield. And of course, he needs more time to show and showcase. Another player that is starting to show his best form right now is this player here that starts feeling really comfortable being on the right flank and being the right defender. First of all, he plays a lot with the double teams together with mainly Valverde, but we saw also Pitarch help him a lot. The way that he carries himself, and he has more and more defensive actions taken in a good way, this just gives a lot of confidence for him and about what that he's doing in the team, the role that he's playing in the team. Also, I remember that somewhere in the second half, there was a chance that he kicked the ball. I think it was the first kick that he took ever since he started playing for Real Madrid. And he took it with such confidence. It wasn't that far away from goal either. So this just shows his confidence, and it's very important for us coming on in the future. Let's see what we have in the quarterfinals, guys. This is incredible. I mean, we got one mismatch here, right? We got one Cinderella story, if you want, Sporting Lisbon. So I don't see any way that Arsenal is not going to be in the semifinals. I think that this is already like almost promised for them. Of course, they have to do the job, but if you ask me who is for sure going to be there, I think it's Arsenal. Barcelona and Atleti, I don't think it's that clear cut. It's going to be difficult for Barcelona. They did meet Atleti at the semifinals of the Copa del Rey. They did meet in the Copa del Rey, and Atleti passed them in 2 games, in 2 matches. I mean, this is not a clear-cut thing. I know that Barcelona are the favorites, but let's not assume that it will be for sure Barcelona. Then we got Liverpool and Paris Saint-Germain. Now, Paris Saint-Germain is champions of Europe, so they have more cohesiveness. They are more fit. They're playing better football. And in general, they are somewhat of favorites, let's say 55% to Paris Saint-Germain. But you can never take off Liverpool. You can never read them off before they've even started. And now, after the 4 goals they've scored yesterday, they are going to be very, very happy with themselves and with belief that they might be able to recapture that and redo that against Paris Saint-Germain. And we've already seen this season Paris Saint-Germain in the Club World Cup. They played against Chelsea. They were the clear favorites, and they lost. So let's see how it goes. I believe that Paris is going to be in the semis, and the only question is, who are they going to meet? So we are playing Bayern Munich, and I know that some people say that the best team in Europe will come from the other side of the draw between Barcelona and Arsenal. One of them will be in the final, and then it will be the fight for whoever is the best in the semifinal. But I think that Bayern Munich has a very good case of being the best team in Europe. They have so many attackers. They have, of course, Rקal, very, very high level of fitness, scoring a lot of goals. They have Gnabry. Sometimes they have Pavlovic to replace him, which is also a very good midfielder. They have Diaz. They have Gnabry. They have Olise. So the goals can come from so many different places. Now, where do I see a mismatch? Where do I see chances? First of all, Neuer. I mean, really? Neuer, 40 or almost 40, still playing in the goal? I mean, he really should be replaced. I don't understand this. I don't know why is this being like this now. The last game, it was Ulrich that played, but I mean, if we want to face a goalkeeper, we can face Ulrich. He's less good than Neuer. Neuer is way past his peak. I don't understand why they keep going with him. They need to replace the goalkeeper, but hey, it's a good advantage for Real Madrid. Upamecano. I know that Upamecano has managed to be more stable in the last year or so, but Upamecano is not a top-tier defender. He's been very mediocre in different stages of his career, and I believe that from the defensive side, this is a little bit of a weaker link for us to try and attack. Third one, we have midfielders, both of which are over 30. We got Kimmich, I think is 31. Goretzka, if I'm not wrong, he's 32. Both of them are going to face the dynamism of our younger, much, much younger, and much better in my eyes, midfield. It's going to be 2 against 3, and we can smash them in the midfield. So if we have cohesiveness, in defense. If we play very good blocking side from when they have when they have a lot of possession, when they attack a lot, this is key. And the second thing is trying to take over the midfield and the pace of the game. If we can dictate the pace of the game, we start also at home. So this is very crucial for me. We saw that we had a very good game at home in the beginning, and then we went outside, and then it was easier for us because we can do the job at home first. So this is an advantage for me. It's not a disadvantage. They say like the less ranked team is starting out at home and then goes away. I think that it's better for us this season, and it's going to be really, really, really difficult. It's a 50-50 match tie, and I mean, this is how I see it. And now let's read a little bit what they said in our website about it. So Real Madrid will face Bayern in the Champions League quarterfinals. The winner between Real Madrid and Bayern will face the winner in the quarterfinal between PSG and Liverpool, obviously. And I don't know, this is the 25th time that we're meeting them or something. Like, it's one of the most played games in Europe, and this is going to be an incredible tie. I think that Bayern is the best it's been in the last 4 or 5 seasons. They're really, really great. Rקal, everything is already connecting for him. He has already won his first title, so he's lifted off the curse already with this. And it's going to be incredible. I mean, it's going to be very, very exciting time for us Madridistas and for football fans all around Europe. So thank you everybody for watching this one. Please subscribe if you connect and like what I do. Give me a like, thumbs up, and let me know what you want to watch and what you want me to comment about in the comments. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one.